One of the most popular VPN services out there that you can start using to stream anything on Netflix, Hulu, and even Disney Plus is ExpressVPN. This is a VPN service that has served over hundreds of thousands of people around the world, giving them access to not only more private connections, but also, more importantly, the ability to stream any show, no matter where you're located in the world. In this video, we'll be covering how to set up ExpressVPN to set it up on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and start streaming some of your favorite shows, no matter where you're located. We'll be showing you the step-by-step process of getting started with ExpressVPN, how it works in the first place, as well as showing you some of its core features. Make sure to stick around to the very end of this video too, because we'll have a very special discount for ExpressVPN. My name's Kyle Herbal, and let's get into this video. Now, as you can see right here, Netflix and Hulu are two of the most popular streaming platforms that are out there and available right now. These two streaming platforms have an insane amount of things that you can choose from when it comes to the content that you consume on them. One of the big benefits about these streaming platforms is that they're available pretty much anywhere you go in the world. However, the only real downside to these actual platforms is that you can't access every single piece of content that you would be normally able to access, strictly depending on where you're located. This can be a geographical restriction, or it could just be a restriction you're facing due to your country's rules on content that you can consume. Thanks to something like ExpressVPN, we can actually bypass these restrictions altogether. Because you're using a VPN, basically what occurs is instead of having your address or your IP address come from a specific part of the world, it's going to look like it's coming from a completely different part of the world when you connect to that server. I'll show you step by step how to get that set up, but first things first, you actually need to get started with ExpressVPN in the first place. The best way to go about doing that is going to be by using that link down in the description. Now, when you click that link, you should be brought to a page that looks something like this. As you can see, you can get started with the world's #1 rated VPN service for 3 extra free months on top of the 12-month plan. You simply hit the Get ExpressVPN button, which will then take you to this page. Once you're on this page, as you can see, the special deal they have going on right now is where you get 2 years plus 4 free months on top of that plan. And as you can see, they have 3 main pricing plans that we can choose from. We have their 1-month plan, their 2-year plan, or their 12-month plan. Now, for the 1-month plan, if you're just trying to dip your toes in and kind of see how the service works and get a feel for how it actually functions, I would highly recommend just going with something like the 1-month plan. It's super affordable, very cheap, and they only charge you on a month-by-month basis, which means that you can cancel anytime. Also, one of the big benefits about each of these plans is that they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, which basically means that if you have any issues with these services for any reason, you can basically cancel them and get a full refund on your purchase without having to have any headaches involved. Now, as far as the actual features that you get, there are some big differences here, especially when we actually look at the pricing. You can see here that the 1-month plan is a little bit restrictive considering what you actually get inside for features. You'll get everything that comes with a normal VPN service. Inside of this pricing plan, you'll get all the normal things that you can expect with a VPN. Things like industry-leading VPN technology, ad blockers, tracker blockers, 1 GB of eSIM, password manager, and ID alerts, which makes sure that you're not having your identity stolen. If we go up to more of their higher tier plans, we see we get much more access to some more interesting features that could be very helpful, especially depending on where you live in the world. And as you can see, again, you'll get the same features here with a couple of other things like $1 million in identity theft insurance, credit card scanners, monthly credit reports, and even data removal tools if you have things out on the internet that you don't want to be out there anymore. And then of course, there also is the 12-month plan, which is kind of like the happy medium, and it gives you pretty much the same features you're going to get with a few removals from that higher tier price. Now, if you want to get the best deal possible and save the most amount of money in this process, I would definitely recommend with going something like their 2-year plan, because you're going to get 4 extra free months on top of that, and it's only going to be $4.99 a month, although it is going to be billed annually, which is going to save you money in the long run, especially if you plan on having this VPN for a long time, which most people usually do. Now, once you've picked which plan you want to go with, you simply hit the Get This Deal button. When you're on their checkout page, you simply enter in your email address, your credit card info, and you're pretty much ready to go to get started with them. Now, once you've purchased ExpressVPN, you should be brought to a page that looks something like this one. As you can see, depending on the device that you're on, it will give you a bunch of different options here that we can choose from to start downloading the actual application onto our device. And this works for pretty much anything, whether it's a laptop, a desktop computer, or even on your phone. As you can see here, I am currently on a MacBook, so I'm going to click the Mac option here and then hit the download button. Once I hit that download button, it will then start downloading the application onto my computer, and then I can open it and start running the installation process. Now, the installation process is super easy here. You basically just go through it, hit the continue button, hit the install button, enter in your computer's password, and then hit the install software button. And then just like that, it'll take a few moments, but your computer will pretty much be ready to go once you've gone through all those steps. As you can see, the installation was successful, and now we can go ahead and close out this and start actually moving into opening the application. I'm just going to simply type in and search ExpressVPN, hit the open button, and then sign into my account. Now, when you're signing into your account, one of the things you need to do is actually enter in your code, which you're going to get after you hit that buy button on the purchase page. Once you've pasted in your code, then it will start signing you into ExpressVPN, and then it will prompt you to start setting up your VPN. You'll hit the continue button and then hit the allow button to start editing your VPN configurations, and then you can have also the option to launch every time your computer starts. I just personally say no thanks to this because I want to actually choose when I turn my VPN on and when I turn it off. Also, there's the option of helping improve ExpressVPN by offering crash reports, speed tests, and things like that. You can say okay to this or say no thanks. It just depends on your personal preference. And then there's also advanced protection, which you can configure, but we'll go ahead and do that later. Now, as you can see, this actually is ready to go. We have our little client here. You can't really make it bigger than this, but that's okay. You don't really need to. And then as you can see, the smart location that it's currently connecting me to is Los Angeles, which is actually where I'm located. But for the sake of this video, let's say you're located somewhere in like Hungary, or maybe you're in Turkey, or maybe you're in some European country that doesn't allow you to stream certain Netflix shows, Hulu shows, or Disney Plus shows. Now, the best way to get around this and to start actually being able to access those shows is by simply clicking on this location selector. Now, inside of the location selector, you can pick pretty much any country you can think of. They have tons of different countries that you can choose from. Ultimately, this really just depends on what kind of content you're trying to stream in the first place, as well as obviously what kind of restrictions you're under. Now, let's say for instance, we are in the United States, but we want to watch shows that are only available in the United Kingdom. We don't have content restrictions here as far as what we can watch on the internet, but of course there are locally based shows that aren't going to be available unless we put on a VPN like this. So when I want to start watching the United Kingdom shows, I'll simply select the United Kingdom option, which will then connect me to their server. And then all I have to do is hit this big power button right here, which is going to be the click to connect button. It'll take a few seconds to get started, and just like that, we are officially connected to the UK server. And this basically means that we can start browsing the web and connecting to obviously streaming platforms and start streaming some of our favorite shows that aren't available in the United States. Now, just to show you another example of this, I can go ahead and disconnect from this one by simply either hitting the power button, which will then disconnect me from the VPN, or hitting the power button, turning it back on basically, and then going back to the country selector and then reselecting which country I want to connect to. Let's say, for example, I want to connect to Mexico. I'll go ahead, and as you can see here, this is a actual alert that does pop up every once in a while. Basically, I'll just pick which country I want to connect to. Let's say for this one, I want to connect to France. I'll go ahead and click the France button. Ooh, there may be a little alert that'll pop up that'll say something like your internet traffic may be unsecure during reconnection. This isn't something to worry about too much. We are under a heavy amount of encryption when using this VPN, so it's not really something that I find myself too stressed about. I hit the continue button here, and then in just a few moments, it connects me to France. Now, one of the things that pops up immediately here, and you can probably see them down here, are a couple of icons that you can start messing around with. And these are actually going to be ways that you can access the internet inside of this VPN and get more specific search results based on where you're accessing your VPN from. So for example, here we are on the Paris France VPN server location. So I can go ahead and start browsing Google Chrome inside of that instance. And then you'll be able to access that country's entire search engine browser and be able to access more localized results depending on where you're browsing from. Once all of this is set up, you just simply make an account with Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus, and just like that, you can start streaming your very own shows from that location without having to actually be that location in the first place. This is a really great way to bypass geo restrictions as well as any content preference issues that you might be facing. If you guys have questions about this process, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. Also, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. Hopefully this video was helpful and it helped you get set up with your ExpressVPN so you can start streaming your favorite shows on Netflix, Hulu, and even Disney Plus. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.